Hello and welcome to episode 2 of our LetterPress series. I'm Leanne and I'm back with you to show you how to make this absolutely beautiful little gift card, which uses some of our press plates, it uses the ticker tape, it's painted in watercolour, it's beautiful. Best thing, super easy to do and looks so high-end and beautifully handmade, which of course it is. Let's get straight into it. So what you'll need to be able to make this beautiful little project is your LetterPress platform. You'll need your LetterPress ink pad. You can use the one that comes in the box with your platform if you like. I'm using one of my larger ones, one I've got to hand. And then you'll need your rose bouquet press plate. You'll need your lowercase ticker tape sentiments press plate and metal die cutting set. And you'll need our stitch edge rectangle dies to be able to make this project. Okay, so we get straight into it. And the first thing I've done, and you don't need to see me do this, is cut the second largest nested rectangle from a piece of the cotton paper which came in with my LetterPress platform in the box. Okay, so you can see I've cut that out, that's ready to use. Okay, so that's what your nested rectangles are for. Once you've cut that out, we then need our press platform and we need the rose bouquet press plate. Now, what I'm going to do is just eye up on here on my grid on my LetterPress platform. We talked about that in episode 1. Whereabouts I'm going to line this card so I've got an idea of where I want to put the press plate when I'm putting it on. So I'm going to put that in the center of the A2 piece. That's where I'm going to position it. So if I open my LetterPress platform and here using the A2 paper guide, I'm just by eye, it doesn't need to be too precise, and the reason it doesn't need to be too precise is I'm not stamping, press plating a whole flower in the centre, I'm going all around the edge. So it doesn't need to be too precise because you are going to stamp off the page. So I'm just deciding where I think that feels comfortable, and it's in the centre of the A2 grid lines. Then I'm going to use some of my very low tack positioning tape that comes in with the LetterPress platform. And I'm just going to keep that nice and still by putting that there. There we go. And we'll move this tape as we move around, which will be a top tip for you when we get there, so keep your eyes peeled. And once we've got that paper in the right place, we'll then take the platform, the press plate, onto the platform and decide where we're going to have the first image. So if we just look here, we can see I've got tape on the bottom left and tape on the top right. So at the moment I want to stamp here and here, and then I'm going to move my tape around and I'm going to stamp in the corners and at the bottom and top edge. So first things first, I'm looking again at my A2 grid line on the bottom magnetic sheet, and I'm going to position my first floral off the edge of the A2 in the centre, just off centre, which makes it look a little bit more natural. Okay, so just off centre from the A2 piece of card and off the edge, and then ink it up. And so your inking, I'm sure you'll remember from episode 1, is swirling, not light tapping. You can do a little smoosh, which is a gentle touch, but we're not doing tap, 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 because we pick the ink back off if we do that. We don't want to do it. We want to leave it on the metal press plate. So once you've got a nice coverage, which I've got there, we can then close our platform and run it through. And you can see that part of the press plate is not touching the card. That's what we want to be able to achieve this beautiful off the edge type of effect. There we are. So you can see I've opened that up and it's got a partial print on the side there. I'm actually not going to move the card at all, but you can see it came away just there a little bit when I picked it up. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more adherence with a little bit extra bit of tape so it doesn't flap off. Now, I'm not going to move this piece of card ever. I'm going to move the press plate, because if you try to take this off and rotate it, you're going to end up stamping on top of an image. You're not going to get that perfect placement. So when you're doing this type of card, a top tip from me is don't move the paper, move the press plate. I'm going to turn that round and place it on the opposite side within the A2 grid, and I'm going to place it just a little bit further off there, which I can see, and I've turned it round so I've got a different part of the floral and leaf is going to show on the opposite side of my bit of paper. And then I ink again. Close my platform with my paper still in place over the top, and actually I looked at that there and I don't think quite enough of that flower is showing, and you can test it. See, I haven't touched it with the platform, but what I've done is close it and look at it and decide, is there enough of that flower showing? If I feel there isn't and I want to move it in, don't be scared to do that. That feels better. Close it, pop it through. And we can see that I've got a different part of the floral, but on the opposite side now as I start to build it round. I'm going to keep doing that, but what I will do is move my tape now, because I want to, I'm keeping the piece of paper still on the top of the platform in that A2 space. And then I'm going to get some extra pieces of tape. And if it moves a little bit, as long as you're in the centre of the A2 space, it really doesn't matter, because it's a very eclectic little version that you've got going around there. I'm going to put some extra bits of flowers around the outside, so I will keep it still now with this low tack tape over the top of the two images that I've just stamped, because I won't be going back over those again. And what that leaves for me is the space to add in the little flowers in the areas I don't have. So I'll take my press plate again, leave my piece of paper where it is, into the A2 space, choose the floral that I would like to have there, and I'm going to go with that one. So I've just got the little floral peeking in at the top. If I just angle that a little bit, I'll get a little bit of the leaves in there as well. So I'm deciding what I want my final thing to look like. And then ink, close, and through the machine. And you can see how that starts to build up. And then I want the same at the bottom, so I'm going to turn it round and have a different piece of the floral at the bottom. I'm here working in my A2 platform again, and I actually want a nice piece of that rose showing. So I'll turn that round, ink, close, run it through. There we go. And you would continue to do that all around your little piece until you get the perfect placement as you would like it. And once you've done that, you're ready to start with your colouring. So you can remove your piece of card, you can remove your tape, decide if you want any of the little pieces in the corners, which I've done on this one, and get ready to use it and colour it in. Before we rush ahead and colour it for our card, I just want to show you how quick and easy it is with our ticket tape, press plate and die set. So to be able to get these beautiful little sentiments and several of them in one go, we've got this incredible set for you where we've pressed the sentiment, and I've done that already. You would then just take the metal die, and you've seen die cutting many times. Comes in the same pack. You would take your metal die, line it over the top of your ticket tapes, that way on, there we go. Run it through your Gemini, your Junior, your Mini, your Midi, actually Midi for this one, and you will make a whole pile of beautiful little ticket tape sentiments to use on your project. Okay, once you've done that, you're ready to get colouring. So I've just got some watercolour here. So a little bit of water and our watercolour palette. You always need a little bit of kitchen towel. Pick the colour of flower that you would like to colour in. I'm going to use the purple. Pick up a little bit of the watercolour, and the cotton cardstock that comes in with your LetterPress platform is absolutely perfect for watercolouring on. And the LetterPress ink that we've made for you, as you can see, is entirely waterproof, which means that you can create beautiful, beautiful watercolour effects with whichever medium you'd like to work with. So you'll continue around and watercolour your entire piece, exactly as you've just seen me demonstrate that one flower. You'll do every other flower the same. Once you've gone round and coloured those exactly as you would like them, as you can see on this one here, then you're just going to take one of our little ticker tape sentiments, and you can have For My Amazing Friend. We've used foam pads here to put it in place, or you could have Thinking of You, you could have Enjoy Your Special Day, Congratulations, Just to Say, all of them appropriate for whatever you want to send this beautiful little notelet for. And then all I've done is just mounted onto a little white card, and I've included another one of those little ticker tapes inside. And you've got an incredible hand-pressed, handmade, hand-coloured, beautiful little notelet to send to someone who's incredibly important to you. And it was simple. That's how quick and easy LetterPress can be. Join us in episode 3 when we'll get a little bit more in depth.